Well, obviously, in Nebraska, Constitution's crystal clear. We have to balance the budget, and we can't go into debt. And so the budget's a big time priority always. I'm just starting my 4th year as governor, the extraordinary privilege, and we're working very hard. We've been very, very consistent. I come from agriculture, farm, business background, and totally believe we can run government like a business. And so working very, very hard in finding efficiency. So first priority of the session is that we make sure that we come out with our budget for the next 2 bienniums, or the next biennium, 2-year period, that we're all on the same page. And so we've presented a lot of extraordinary savings and efficiencies. We are working hard to improve services to Nebraska, but to do it, the better service you provide, the more you save. And so that's just what we do in business, and that's what we're doing everywhere. In improving practices of delivering services, which is, we're putting forth in our budget, it will be $1 billion with a B dollar savings over the next biennium. So we're really excited about that, and that'll get presented on our State of the State on January 15th. We've, in every department that serves at the pleasure of the governor, I mean, we've been working very, very hard to create a culture of running it like a business, improving services, decreasing expenses, and assessing every practice. An example, contracts. All of us in business know that if we can't do it in our business and we outsource and contract, it costs more. We've done some contracts, but overall, we've had way, way too many. So we're decreasing contracts, growing our teams because we can provide services for a fraction of the cost of what we've been paying contractors, as an example. We're looking at everything that takes place in taking care of our brothers and sisters that need help, but making sure that it's reasonable. We've uncovered silly things. There's not one Nebraskan that believes that somebody that's 100 years old, that we should be paying $300,000 a year for that person to stay at home. It makes absolutely no sense. Department of Corrections, we saved $10 million simply by not having contract nurses and being able to bring people in as a public servant and be a part of the team. So those are the really, really simple practices throughout every agency. So what that means is, some people will say, well, you're creating more FTEs, you're growing government. No, we're shrinking government as how much you don't spend. So we're decreasing what we spend in government. It's very precise. We have goals and targets, but there's no edicts. We're working everywhere. Some places might be way more than 10%, some agencies might be less. It's a very, very precise, let's find stuff. And we're just getting started. It's not a daunting task. Any of us that survive in business for 45 years, that's what you do all the time. You have, capitalism's a tough game. And so, we're just working very, very hard and focused on what we need. There's a whole lot of things in government that has gone to nice. We're focused on what we really, really need. And, I think probably the challenging task always, I call it 3317, right? In the unicameral, we have 49 members. It takes 33 to move anything forward, and it only takes 17 to stop it. Solving the problems, the issues, they're really not that complicated. The daunting task is when there's goober politics played. I believe we need to have a tax policy so we can grow Nebraska. I believe in every young person. 9 out of 10 of our kids in high schools today, guess where they want to live and raise their families? Here in Nebraska. Well, we have to create the environment for them to be able to do that. Right now, the American dream, right, is to own your own home. Right now, most of our young people can't afford to buy a home until they're 40 years of age because our property taxes are so high. We have 85% of Nebraskans that have worked here their whole life, raised their families, they've paid for their home, and now they're in retirement, and property taxes are going up so high that they're looking at their loved ones and say, you know, I don't know if we can afford to stay in the house we paid for. That's crazy. And any state, our neighbors to the north, South Dakota, zero income tax, we're going to be at 399. It's still not in the game, but it's progress from where we were. And then property tax. They have property tax where we want to get to. How do they run government? They have a broad-based sales tax. So you know, we used to have that in 1968. We've had sales tax exemptions. I'm going to give every senator over the last 50 years that has voted for him the benefit of the doubt that they believe they were cutting taxes. But in business, if we decrease revenue, to stay in business, we have to decrease expense. So I can't find, nobody's been able to show me where there's been any decrease in spending in government in all those sales tax exemptions. So what's happened is it's a tax shift. It's been a tax shift to property tax. We have to fix that. And the solution to it is decrease spending, and we need to do a broad-based sales tax so all of us pay on and control our destiny.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. Just in looking at some of the senator's policies, Senator Brandt had introduced some legislation about, you know, those things that have been exempt, maybe bringing a tax back for that, but it didn't seem to get, you know, the popularity or the backing to do something with that. So would you would support, you know, like shifting more towards that so then we can have relief on property taxes?
I've been crystal clear. Yeah,
Okay.
we have to broaden the sales tax base, and we have to decrease spending, not only at the state level. We have to put more caps on the local spending. We have 93 counties. You know, we're too Nebraska nice. We have to start saying no to neighbors. We got to quit spending money, and we have to be able to compete with our neighbors to grow. So the solution's really, really simple. We've done it for community colleges in our first session, where the state pays for the community colleges' operations. No longer. We saved over $350 million of property taxes. No longer are the community colleges boards, taxing authorities are focused on running the colleges. The state funds it, and that's our plan for K-12 education as well. Not run education, our school boards run it, the state funds it. And how we pay for that, we've got to raise $1.25 billion of broad-based sales tax, and then have that dollar for dollar property tax relief. I asked Senator McKeon to come in. I asked him to resign. My position's not changed since June, whenever that was.
Absolutely. And then just like conversations about next steps if you know, he were to be expelled, and also replacing that Board of Regents member that left, how fast would you be looking, you know, to get appointments through those?
You know, obviously I have relationships everywhere, and you know, that'll take place quickly.